Attitude law number 3, treating your investment system like a religious faith. The only way to successfully change is by sticking to a system religiously. Only by formulating a system you can find an inherent flaw or even error, and only then can you erase it later on. And a quote by the British publisher and author Michael Corder: "Never walk away from failure. On the contrary, study it carefully and imaginatively for its hidden assets." My dear Clement, first of all, this is the beginning of the year 2023. I hope you had a great holiday. Too bad we couldn't see us very often this winter, but I hope to see you very often in January. Now, what I want to tell you by this attitude law number 3 is this. First of all, you need to have a set of rules, and as tedious as that might sound, it needs to be a set of written rules, not just something that you have in mind because you might wander away, you might change according to waves that are coming, investment waves, things, and that's very dangerous. It must be a set rules, kind of like a checklist or like a law. A very good law is very concise. I hope my 77 laws are a concise law. A checklist must be do this, and when everything is done, we will talk about this later, what happens if something doesn't fit. When everything checks the list, then you're fine to proceed with finding the right price. Now, this might change over time. You might make a mistake. You might see, well, either I've forgotten something happened that I did not foresee and it was not in my list, or something was not precise enough in the list, or the list was wrong. Yeah, that might happen. I told you. While I think the 77 laws are very, very honest because I have no advantage out of it, only to know that I give you some advice. It's honest, but it might be wrong. I don't know. Yeah. So far, it has been very good for me. If you find an error in it, I told you I would be very proud because I know you followed it at least. And then feel free to prove me wrong. The second thing is this: it's a faith. It is not a concise science where 50 people come to the same conclusion. There will be a lot of people who have different investment approach, and a lot of them will be very, very right, and they know what they're doing. It's important to shy away and stay away from the people who are wrong, who do the spur of the moment thing. They jump into investments because it's so cool. We've seen that with Bitcoin, where people lost fortunes and they still tell me how amazing this is and how it will rebound. Well, whatever, you know the picture. We have talked about it a lot. So be aware, it's a faith, it's not a concrete science. There might be people who have knowledge in different ways and be very good in their investment procedures, but they also will have a very strict set of rules to invest. And important in that thing is this, and that might be a motto for these years, 2021 to 2023, 4, whatever. Do not become the slave to your investment. Do not become a slave to the money anyway. You need to have some money. You need to make sure that your life is well funded, but let never take this over. So if you realize you made a mistake in an investment, either you forgot something, you didn't follow a rule that you have, and you later realize it, you made a mistake. It's not your life. It's not life and death. It's not going to kill you. Make sure it doesn't happen very often that you go wrong. But at least if you go wrong and you realize there is an inherent flaw in the system, then change the law, change your investment approach carefully. Think of everything through that you have done before. Does this still apply, or are you just because one thing was strange or behaved irrationally, for example, or erroneously? Don't change the law on the spur of the moment. So Do not become the slave to the investment, never become slave to money. It's important to understand that money is your servant and not the other way around. So if you realize you made something, you made an error, there's an error in your investment approach, not a problem. Fix it, forget it, sell it off or whatever you have to do to get rid of it, and go on. Nothing in investment, no money is worth ruining your life. I hope this helps you. You're wonderful. Merry, Happy New Year, and looking forward to working with you more.